Next up is Kyle Richardson from the psychology program, and Kyle will be talking to us about sexist humor diminishes women's social influence. Kyle?
All right. Well, everyone loves a good joke. Charles Barkley certainly does. In an NBA postgame interview in 2009, Charles Barkley joked with his co-host Kenny Smith and said, "How do you fix a woman's watch?" "You don't. There's a clock on the stove." So that's a little edgy, right? But it's just a joke. So what? Well, over the last couple years, I've been involved in research that's taking a critical look at the statement that usually follows such a sexist joke. Is it really just a joke? Well, from our research, we've been able to conclude that it's not just a joke. Sexist humor does, in fact, have some serious consequences for the ways men interact and think of women. So, all right, picture this example. 4 men go into a bar, and 2 of those guys are sexist. Well, say they experience some sexist humor, whether it be from a television nearby or from someone saying some jokes around them. Well, what's going to happen? Are the non-sexist guys going to become sexist? Are all 4 men going to leave that bar hating women? Well, according to our research, that's not the case. What does happen, though, is that sexist humor diminishes women in that context. It makes them less. And so what happens is sexist men feel more free and able to discriminate against women, and that's what they do. They exhibit that through their behavior. So we now know how sexist humor affects men, but how does it affect women? Well, that's what I'm looking at in my thesis. Okay, so role play again here for a second. Imagine you're part of an executive board consisting of both men and women, and you're getting ready for a meeting. So usually there's some sort of humorous banter going on before the meeting begins, and imagine that one of the guys recalls Barkley's sexist joke. Well, how's that going to affect the environment? Well, from our research, we've seen that it diminishes women. The women are effectively less now in that boardroom. So when the meeting begins, are the guys going to take what the women have to say seriously? Are they really going to value their input? And what we believe is that that's not going to happen. So the way I'm testing this is I'm having participants come into the lab and watch sexist videos. After they watch the sexist videos, they're going to go complete some visual line tests, little line judgments with other 3 female Confederates. So the Confederates are posing as real subjects. And basically, you just go down the line and say, does this line match this line? And they say, which one matches and which one doesn't. Well, on 4 of those line judgment trials, the women give a unanimous wrong answer. If the male subject conforms to that answer, it means that he values what they have to say and values their input. We think that after exposure to sexist humor, he will not conform, assuming that he's sexist. And if the conformity drops off, it shows that women have diminished and they're less in that environment. So if our hypotheses are supportive, this can really show that this can have some really big implications for organizations like the university level or the corporate level. For effective organizations, they operate when they take everyone's input seriously and they value what everyone has to say. So certain humor can threaten that environment, sometimes jokes.